We've got some major New York Yankees trade line updates, what we know right now as of this morning on July 30th, and what it could look like for the remainder of the day. We're going to get into all of these updates and reports to keep you up to date with what's going on with the New York Yankees during this trade deadline day. But first, what is going on, guys, and welcome to Yankees Digest. I'm your host, Gabby Gordon. And real quick, if you're among the 93% not currently subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button right now so that you'd never miss a beat, because guys, we got some crazy stuff today, and I think you're going to be seeing a lot of me and my co-hosts on today. July 30th time I'm filming this, 11 a.m. So here's currently what we know headed into today, and the first report has got to be one of the biggest ones in my opinion. It has to do with the elite closer Tanner Scott, and he's out there on the board, and according to Jon Heyman, the biggest in the market going after Scott right now has to be the Orioles, Yankees, and Dodgers. There could be other names out there, not currently named right now, but there could be other ones. So let's just take a look at what we're looking at with Tanner Scott, right? Just to kind of remind you here at what the situation is with this guy. We made a couple videos on him in the past, but the news had kind of shut down a little bit with him, but they are still very much in the picture for Tanner Scott, and you're looking at these stats, and it's like a 1.18 ERA right now and 45.2 innings pitched. We know the current closer situation for the Yankees is within Clay Holmes, and that has been an up and down type of season thus far, with blowing games and really not having as much trust as you would necessarily in your closer. And then, of course, Tanner Scott here really would solve a serious issue within the Yankees pitching staff. And so, again, is it possible the Yankees go after him? It's a very, very valid question and a very, very valid report here. What are the Marlins going to be asking value-wise, and what have those conversations already looked like? Very interesting to see if the Yankees could potentially, get something done in regards to this specific deal. And it's a very big report, because this is obviously something the Yankees need. Pitching in all aspects, not just in a closer, but also in relief and in a starting rotation. It is all out there, and it is all very much on the board, and it is all equally as interesting. So Tanner Scott, one thing that we know coming into this morning trade deadline is that he is still available, and the Yankees are still one of the front runners to go after him. What else do we know? Well, we know at this point that the deal with Garrett Crochet is pretty much a no-go. According to Jon Heyman, again, the Yankees were told several days ago that they, quote, don't match up for Garrett Crochet. There are other teams still trying. Now, again, take this with a grain of salt. Jon Heyman gets things wrong sometimes, and you can't really base it off of what was told several days ago. If the Yankees can come up here and get something that that Crochet would match up value-wise for, absolutely, that could get a deal done. So don't completely mark it out of your trade deadline board, but it does look unlikely that Garrett Crochet becomes a Yankee after 6 p.m. Eastern time today. Now, there are other reports as well, but I just want to bring you in a quote yesterday from the man himself, Aaron Judge, who is in the same boat as we all are, and after yesterday's game, he made it pretty clear that he wants moves to happen as well. He said, quote, other teams are making moves, and hopefully we start making moves too. And we will see. Now, this is obviously very promising, because we know at this point, Aaron Judge being the captain of this team, he has a say within the front office, and he has a say within management, and I'm sure he's had discussions with Boone and Cashman and Steinbrenner, and without a doubt, he's in the same boat as we all are, because he is this guy leading this team to hopefully what is a World Series run, at least a playoff push at the very least, with the roster and the season that he's been having. And of course, he wants some extra talent on there so that they can really make it a reality, because let's be honest here, if Judge can't make it all the way, the Yankees are really ruining his career, right? So obviously, Judge is in the same boat as we all are over here. We've seen other teams make moves. Jazz Chisholm Jr. has been one of the moves that Brian Cashman and the Yankees have made thus far, but we can't be done yet. It has to keep on going. You have to get more pitching, and you have to look for a third baseman. And that brings me to the next report here, which has to do with pitching. This is from Mock Bomb on X. And look, the Tigers, as we heard from this report, have agreed to trade Jack Flaherty to the Yankees. Now, this is not an official report yet. Nothing has been announced. But the expectation is that Nestor Cortes is going to be among the pieces within this trade. We don't know where he's going to go. As it says here, you can look out for the Twins or the Royals, the Mets or the Padres to look for a guy like Cortes. Once again, I want to make this very clear. This is not an official report and no trade has been made. However, this is not the only report which has said that the Yankees could very well be deep into a Jack Flaherty deal very quickly. It's just not official yet. So we have to, obviously, watch this. The starting pitcher in Jack Flaherty could be huge for the Yankees. He is very talented. If we take a look at the stats that he has put up this year thus far, he has a 2.95 ERA in 106.2 innings pitched, and that win-to-loss percentage is pretty nice to look at as well. He struck out 133, only gave up 83 hits this year thus far, and he's young, 28 years old. He's got a lot of talent. This is obviously a piece that the Yankees are looking for in this fact that their starting rotation has been pretty much lackluster this year. Obviously, Garrett Cole had an injury, didn't pitch for a month or two. Luis Gil has been up and down. Carlos Rodon has had a rough year. And then, of course, Cortes. And then you just look at the rest of the... And Marcus Stroman, of course, as well, is just not having the year that you would hope that he would have. And honestly, the pitching rotation is pretty average, pretty lackluster in my opinion. So when you look at Jack Flaherty, you look at the stats he puts up, and you look at the report that says a deal could be done, it makes you excited that a deal might be done. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But I, again, just want to make it clear, this is not an official report. This is just something that is going around the grapevine, and the validity of it is still to be determined. However, Mockbomb has gotten things right in the past, so I will take that with a grain of salt, as should you. But we all know that Jack Flaherty is a serious option for the Yankees, and it should be exercised. The last thing that we know is that Yandy Diaz is still on the board. And what I mean is that we know the Yankees need a fielder, and we know that Yandy Diaz could fit that role. And we know he could do it well, right? He is on base 26% of the time, and 393 at-bats. He has 106 hits. I like this guy. He is 32, so he's a little bit on the older side. And, you know, the Yankees are a relatively young team in some aspects as compared to others. Obviously, guys like Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, and all that are on the older side, but with the Yankees, they have a decent farm system. Soto's on the younger side still as well. You just got Ben Rice, who got called up. We're looking for Jason Dominguez, hopefully very shortly, to be within this lineup. If that sticks and if he doesn't get traded or included in a trade, which I would hope not. So Yandy Diaz is still on the board. And, you know, will Tampa Bay trade him to the Yankees? I don't know. It's very interesting. We know Tampa likes to ask for a lot. Will Cashman be willing to give up a lot for a guy like Yandy Diaz? I just don't know. I don't know if this is something that the Yankees exercise. We're looking for a fielding position and almost something to kind of replace DJ LeMahieu, and I think Yandy could be that fit. Jazz Chisholm looks like he may very well be a third baseman for this team. I would like it for Chisholm to continue getting work in there. He made a nice play last night, and he's obviously got the offensive fireworks and the speed and athleticism, so Yandy could be a good option to kind of replace DJ LeMahieu at first base, and obviously DJ is just not anything where the Yankees need right now in their World Series push. So again, this is another option as well. Diaz is still on the board. It is still very possible, and I think it could work out. Always take this with a grain of salt, but this is what we know right now, and anything can change at any time. As we know, trade deadline day is always insane. Again, you'll probably be seeing plenty of me and my co-hosts all day today. At the time of filming this, it is just a little bit after 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the deadline is not until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there are many hours left with many conversations and many potential trades. So with all that being said, this is going to wrap up this episode of Yankees Digest. If you like what you see, and if you want to stay updated, hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications because we get videos out as quick as possible. Once we know the news, you know the news as well. And that's really the biggest thing here is Cashman's got to make something happen. And I really do think this could be the year where he puts all his cards into place and makes something big happen. So if you enjoy this video, again, hit the subscribe button, and you're going to be seeing plenty of me today because we got a whole lot to cover. And today is one of the biggest days of the year, trade deadline day. So with all that being said, this is going to wrap up this episode of what we currently know here at Yankees Digest. I've been your host, Gabby Gordon, and I will see you in the next one.